Most everything in here is my inventory. The kiln runs for other people. Customers show up I run a lot of stuff for other clients, and so it's always available. It's drop it off, run it through the kiln, and as soon as it's dry, then it's, as quickly as possible back out of here. That is one thing. If somebody's starting up a business, put up a shop upward, right? Because that is the drawback or one of the major issues with dealing with the hardwoods is when it comes out of the kiln, you have to have a climate controlled area to put it in. Otherwise, it goes right back to where it was. So, where do you stack or where do you deal? You got quite a bit. You got a lot of inventory, and in order to keep some customers happy. But if you're thinking of running a sawmill business, set it up and push really hard and get a kiln. Most of the time, there's a big percentage of the time, somebody else's lumber pays the electric. It's pretty rare that there's not a time where somebody else's materials or part of the load is, in there. It covers the expenses. At the same time, you gotta have a forklift or something to load it, unload it. As Nile, the manufacturer, says, if you're gonna put a kiln in or design it, then make sure you design it for the second. That was probably, that would be one thing you ask, was if somebody had told me, make it a bigger kiln. Even if you don't have the lumber to run up full charge, it doesn't care if there's only 5,000 or 6,000 board feet and it's a 25,000 board foot kiln. You can still just run a partial load. It doesn't have to be full to operate. It doesn't the cost. And that was one thing that I had a fork, which was big, and it served me. I mean, it's been great. It works well. But there's quite often in the spring and in the fall, I will be backed up 8 to 10 weeks or more. It seems to be a cycle, but springtime, that place. They need some wood to finish up before the summer gets there. It seems like, hey, can you run this through the kiln? And then before the rains or just after in the fall, it seems like everybody shows up. Hey, we'd like this run through so we can move it into the shop. So with the hardwoods, I've tried to keep most of mine on the lower grade material and stuff. I bought, 8/6 or 10/6 because that way all my piles are consistent. The more consistent it is, the easier it is to manage and deal with. It's the price difference, a 7-footer or, 11 footer or something, I'll let it go and, deal with it because it's, there's enough there to cost effective. But maple, chinquapin, myrtlewood, madrone, oak, black, and most of those, all that kind of stuff. You buck them an 8/6 or a 10/6, and it's like, find a reason to cut that extra foot off there, because otherwise it's just going to cause a lot of grief. Or even 2 foot, because if you get a 12-foot log, if it's 36, 40 inches, then it's really, it's like, that's going to be a pain to deal with it. They leave it on there because I'm not sawing that's all. But on your small, if you're down to, 20-inch log, just whack the 2 feet off, because this is not going to do anything but cause you grief.